This failure deals with a topic that's critically important. How to deal with failure. In the small business arena, all of us, your teacher included, looked at failure right in the face. The literature suggests 100 firms that started small business, 5 years later, 95 have gone broke. Of the 5 that make it, those 5 also look failure right in the face. The problem with this, the 5 of us that made it, that's who I studied, the 5 that made it is my study, is that when we come out of the 5-year niche, 5-year mark, we made it. We simply made positive cash flow. But in the process of we learn and fail, preventing failure, I should say, we lose our self-worth. We get out of balance. We learn to do things in resistance mode. And we learn to do something important. We learn to trust cash and God in that order, and no one else. That being the case, let's talk about my failure, what happened to me. I came out of Virginia Tech, my PhD in 1980, bright star, head of the class, had an idea. Start my small business, which I did. The Academy, which you're in right now. Taught it for 3 years at the University of Texas Arlington, professor, published articles, things were going well. But my passion was the Academy. Small business school for the Academy. This Academy is my passion, to create that Academy. So one night I was teaching graduate class, had 46 students as I recall, and I was teaching a lot of gals in business, professor of business careers, coming to night school. And I thought, don't want to be doing this 10 years from now. Nope. 5 years from now. Nope. Next year. Nope. Next day I resigned. My boss, Jerry Wofford, Professor Wofford, Jerry, I resigned. Nathan, you're a star. Where are you going? I don't know. Chasing my dream, my passion for the Academy. Create that business school. So I resigned. Created the Academy. Sure enough, started in medicine, orthopedic surgeons first, then small businesses, hit a niche that no one had done. Integrating disciplines from the CEO of Small Business CEO's chair. Things went well. I borrowed $250,000. I had $250,000. Invested $500,000 to start the business. Got a bank loan at a bad rate, by the way. 6 months later, paid the bank money back. Whew! Got a home run about to be hit. Hit the home run, going. Hired 5 people, all women. By the way, another nugget. Very carefully. I like affirmative action and equal opportunity. I like all those things. But I know this hardest job God gave mankind is managing 5 women. That's a nugget for sure. Write that one down. That's a headache for sure. However, my market was female-oriented. Medicine, office managers, medicine, worked beautifully for us. But now back to the story. Going well. Working 8 days a week, flying around the country, making speeches. Business was going great. Firm grew, firm grew. 22 employees and me. Mercedes cars. First class travel. All the above. Business booming. One day I got a phone call from my CPA. Nathan, you seen your numbers lately? No, I'm doing great. We need to talk. What's the matter? You have $1.8 million in debt, $50,000 in the bank. In balance, not good. Roll notes, lease cars, new mortgage, new lease space, big deal, big shot. Had a board meeting at the bank. I'm on the board of Texas Commerce Bank, the board of directors. The president decided he didn't like my answers to board meeting, so I met the next day. Board meeting. Came to my office after the following day. Dr. Jones, the bank didn't like your answers yesterday at the board meeting. What answers? Told the truth. No. We're discussing the rate of loan for one of my clients, what we're talking about. 4% prime versus 2% prime. You just support the bank at 4% prime. No, it's not fair. Well, Dr. Jones, here's what's fair. These 11 notes of yours, they're all called. Meaning what? You got a business. We passed the word already. You got a business. 72 hours. Pay this $1.2 million back. We shut you down. All your collateral is ours. We own it. Trust me. I spent 72 hours on my knees in prayer. I found out something. God had moved. Nathan did. I fixed that. I promised the good Lord, if He gave me a business, I would honor Him the rest of my life with business, clients in my business for free, if He would save my firm. I downsized, 22 to 9 employees, that next day. A bank took a risk on me. Gary Green, Landmark Bank in Euless, Texas, took a risk on me. And folks, it was midnight to dawn to dusk, indefinitely. Thank God I had a product. When I downsized from off the consulting business, all the Gidby's Creek schemes, to what I do, I'm a teacher, the medicine marketplace, and the consulting marketplace. One professor like me talk about business, small business, hit a niche, and God blessed. Make a long story real short. 3 years later, through the new direction of the firm, I reduced the debt, $1.2 million out of profits for the new venture. So God bless. My point is, I've been there. Failure is a bad deal. It'll test your soul. I was out of balance, got back in balance, got right with God, my spouse, my family, my emotions, all back in balance. Praise God. That being the case now, failure. All of us will deal with this along the way. That's my story. You know, I was teaching in Owensboro, Kentucky after this happened. A bunch of oral surgeons, great Bergen men and women, Bergen people. 25 called me in from around the country to do that, flew in to see me. I taught for 3 days real hard because I had to be the best at teaching. They need to know this, running their businesses. They need to know this stuff. So, third day, I'm running out of time. I'm ready to shut the class, to graduate the class, put my robe on, take a picture, whole deal. I thought, you know, I need to tell them my story. I looked failure right in the face. I told them a story I just told you. I looked it in the face, sent from the ghetto of Carolina. I had nothing to go back to. Pigs, tobacco and farming, not a good deal. Always my fear, I'd go back to farming, be broke again, misery. So I told my story about failure, how God blessed to come out of failure. After the meeting, it took me about 5 minutes, I told you the story. After the meeting, Dr. Green came to me and says, Nathan, you're the best speaker we've ever seen. You know that. We told you that. Your reputation is before you. We know that. We paid you. You know that. You back next year. You know that. But the last 5 minutes, you shared your heart with us. It was better than 3 days prior to that. I learned something. Knowledge has to move from the head to the heart to be effective. I've been there. I've looked failure right in the face, thank God. I'm a debt-free economist. Debt's a bad deal. But failure is for real. And your heart, my heart to yours is, I've been there. I'll show you how to fail, how to avoid yours and get out of it. And if you're there, how to overcome. I have been there. I'm in your corner. God bless.